Hey, the new episode's ready. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Alright, I got the new episode.
Great, let me see the thumb drive.
It's right.
Where is it?
It was here.
Uh-oh. So I've got this big wasp nest about this big in my shed, and I am scared to death to shoot that thing just by standing 2 feet away from it. So we're going to take this robot and shoot braid cans that are attached to the robot at this thing. But the robot's got pretty smooth wheels, so we've got this plywood. And tonight, I've got to go try to lay this plywood down without getting stung. So I've got my extra hat and my hoodie and my gloves, and we're going to go out there and try to lay this down without getting stung. So here we go. It got a lot bigger since last time too. Before it was all like one nice formed round thing. Now it's got the nice formed round thing, but there's like an addition like they're expanding on, but it's all like paper mache that's not finished.
Oh. One was just on me.
It was on you?
Well, it was right in front of me.
Really?
Right. No, that's a mosquito.
I see lots of mosquitoes.
No, it was definitely a wasp or something. I'm gonna run.
Don't run, I need the light to see where I'm running.
That sucks. There it is. Okay.
Alright, let's go now.
Okay. So initial report.
Initial report is this is going to be scary as hell. That's what the initial report is. It's freaky. I can kind of hear it. Not buzzing, but like you can hear it there. What I'll have to do, we'll see. We'll know tomorrow.
Okay, so now it's time to get our robot set up that's going to take out our wasp nest. So we wrote some basic software here. We've got a Java application and a Visual Basic application. Our WASP Annihilator program here is going to fire our cans, basically, our cans of raid. So we have a slider here for our left can and a right can, and we can either turn one on, and both off, basically. So we have a device here called a Mini SSC2, and this is receiving serial communications from our Mini ITX motherboard here, and this is what we're going to plug our servos into that are going to be attached to our cans. So as you can see when I just click it here on the software, servo's moving. So this is how we're going to fire our cans, and it's also how we're going to tilt our can setup. Another thing we've got is, here's our basic robot. It's a cheap, low-cost robot, basically. It's just got some basic motors and a battery thrown on it, and a serial communication board right under here. We've got another USB, or another serial port over here, which is plugged into our USB port. Basically going to connect this up like this. And now, turn our robot on, and we should be able to drive it. That's how we're going to get the movement of our robot platform. And basically what we're going to do is take this Mini ITX motherboard here with all this stuff and toss it directly onto our robot platform, and we'll basically have a computer on board our robot. Now for connecting to our robot wirelessly, we're going to throw a wireless card onto our ITX motherboard and connect to it from another computer like this, and we will wirelessly be able to control our WASP bots. So that's basically how we're going to do this.
Alright, so I think we've got everything here for our robot. We've got our main robot that's going to drive around. We've got our raid cans here. We've mounted 2 servos on the top to be able to push the buttons down. Each one is independently controlled, so we don't have to waste both canisters in case we don't have a good aim on the wasp nest yet. And once we do, we can push down both to really annihilate it. We've got a servo in the back, just a simple push-pull thing that we can tilt vertically. That's all going to get controlled and plugged into our mini SSC controller. And what we've done to save power, we've wired this up to our power supply for our computer. And this is just going to connect together, take power right from this, which will also power the VIA board here. Now the VIA board we've decided to use because it's the smallest computer that we can fit on this robot, because we got a lot of stuff going on here. We've also got a wireless card, wireless network card. We're going to use VNC to be able to log into the computer and control everything. We're going to mount everything, the hard drive and the power supply, with these just little L-bracket aluminum mounts there. We've got this. We only have 2 USB slots on the computer and only 1 serial port, but both of our boards, the servo or the motor drive board and our servo control board, are both serial controlled. So this is just a keyspan USB to serial port converter. And now we just got to hook everything up, mount it to the robot, and I think we'll be good to go. So now that's time to do that. So we've got the robot partway put together. We're just putting some finishing touches on here, and in a few minutes we're going to go test it out outside to get our exact positions for our servos to fire the raid cans. It's one of the last things we've got to do yet. And once we have that, we should be able to do a test run with it and know that it's going to work. And we'll be ready to go with this thing later on today.
Okay, so we're just about to power up our robot for the first time with it all assembled. So let's give this a shot. Power on our power supply. Here's our power button.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Those could have just started spraying.
That could have been bad.
That could have been real bad.
We should probably turn that off too, in case they do. Wait, are those pushing down?
They could be. Should probably unplug that. But there's still power going to it. Unplug this. Right. Oh, that could have been real bad. Good thing I was standing off to the side. Okay, so here we are, powering on the robot for the first time, for real.
And luckily we didn't have a misfire with the raid cans in our bedroom, so that's always a plus.
This is how we have everything mounted.
Isn't the robot at power? What's going on now?
Got the mini SSC mounted to the back of that.
Crap, power connector came off.
Got the hard drive, the wireless network card.
Robot has power.
Robot now has power. Computer is powered up and running. Got the power supply mounted underneath. And on the other side, it's pretty much empty. So there's a better shot of the motor control circuit board.
The network card is starting to connect.
Got a small battery underneath.
So there's tilt wirelessly to our robot. So we can adjust our tilt here. Then we also will be able to fire the canisters. And then we also have our drive program. This is all wireless.
Alright, so we've got our robot, we've got it outside, and we're now testing what position the servos have to be in to be able to push the raid can down.
Okay, so are we ready to push it forward?
Yep, go a little bit at a time now.
We're at 111, 104, 90,
Keep going.
80,
Keep
60,
going. Keep going. It's starting to go down.
0.
Really? So we've just tested the robot, and it turns out one servo pushing down on the raid can is not enough to start the spray. Although when it's pushing down all the way as hard as it can, it doesn't take much more force to get it to spray all the way. And once it is spraying, one servo is enough to hold the spray on. So we just have to get a little bit more power to initiate pushing down that top button. So what we're going to try to do is add a second servo somehow to each raid can, so we've got the power of 2 servos pushing down. Well, we've had some problems with the robot getting it to actually fire the raid cans. We upped the voltage from 5 to 6 and doubled the servos, and it worked on one of them. But as soon as we hooked up the other 2 servos, it wasn't quite enough power, and we think it was because it was powering all 4 servos instead of just the 2. So what we've done is we were going to up the voltage again, but we don't have a 7.5 volt transformer with a high enough amperage to power all four. So we're going to leave two of them powered at 6 volt and power the other two off 7.5 volt. And hopefully that'll still be able to fire both of them. We're about to go test it right now.
Okay, so we're getting ready for the first test here. This laptop is going to be used to control the actual robot. And then up here on this computer, we have two webcams. We actually have an onboard camera over here. This is onboard the robot, as you can see, and this camera right here is facing our shed, so we can actually see what's going on from all positions. And we're just about ready here, so we're about to do a test. Okay. Okay, we're almost out of daylight here, so this is our last shot to do this. Both canisters. We're doubling the voltage that those servos should be receiving, so I guess if all goes wrong, we have one side of the RAID cam array that will run. As you can see in the webcam, Ben's hooking up the other power supply. But daylight is fading fast. Robot's going in the shed. And there we are. Ben just ran out. Ooh, you can see the WASP buzzing around.
I have no idea where I put it, but
I can see the WASP buzzing around in there. Alright, I need to start the drive program.
yes.
Do you power on the robot?
What do you mean power on the robot? That's gotta be turned on. Oh, I never hit that switch. Alright, here goes nothing. Oh man, I gotta go back in there?
Just flip it and run. This is ridiculous. I can't believe you forgot to turn the robot on. Alright, let's try moving left. Hey, we have movement. Okay, we have movement now.
Huh?
We have movement now.
You're gonna have to go forward just a little bit, I think.
I just went forward a little bit. Webcam doesn't gain the greatest shot, but...
Start turning to the left. A little more, because I'm afraid the door might be in your way.
I'm kind of caught.
Oh no, don't go that way. Go straight.
Okay, I can see it. Oh, that's awesome.
Does it look like super nasty and scary looking?
It's definitely got WASP all over it.
Oh man.
Oh, wrong way.
There you go, you're hitting it there.
Should I move it up? Alright, move it up a little bit.
Well, that's right, because the camera doesn't move, does it? No, look down. You're above it. Take that little more. Take that little more.
We're hitting it now. They are getting pissed.
Tilt up a little more. There, I can see it hitting right now. Go off and on a couple times.
Stuck yet?
I can almost see probably at the other window. Well, it didn't work quite as well as we had hoped. We got one canister to fire, but by the time we got it to fire good, we were almost out of spray. So we only got the wasp nest for a very short amount of time. And something happened with either the servo or the power supply on the other canister. We couldn't get it to fire at all after we got it in the shed. So we're going to go try retrieving the robot because we couldn't drive it out. So I'm going to try running in there, picking it up, and running out with it really quick. Hopefully I don't get stung. Try it in there just to make sure, see if there's anything flying around. This still looks connected. Still connected. I don't know what happened to it.
Alright, our computer looks like it's still good. So basically we're taking the good power supply and connecting it to the canister that didn't fire. Ben's placing the robot back in the shed. Alright, we're inside the shed. Alright, here we go. Firing in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Coming up there.
At the top of the list.
Is that a pretty good spot?
So turn it off. See what happens. Just wait 2 seconds.
They're not flying around too much, or maybe we got a lot of them.
Maybe.
Back here a little bit.
It seems like we're getting closer and closer and closer.
That's good. Right?
Yeah.
Want me to spray some more?
Yeah. Oh, that might be missed.
I can smell the
Ready to go, man. It stinks.
Looks like the robot's in good shape. Yeah, and he powered it down, the cannons automatically dropped. It looks like it's in good shape though.
I think it was a success overall. Even though we had a few technicalities, we were able to get in there a second time. And the second time, firing at the nest, we actually got it. We hit the nest a lot better and for longer, and there wasn't very many wasps flying around, so I think they were already just about out of the nest. So I think success.
Excellent.
All right, quick recap. We got both raid cans to fire eventually, completely, but this is how it ended up at the end. Looks like everything back here stayed dry. Didn't get any raid on it, which is good. I don't see any random wasps dead in here, but
There's a lot of stuff on that robot.
there is. We got computer, hard drive. This is our USB to serial port. We've got a network card under there. We got the light. We got the camera over there, onboard camera. Power supply. Underneath here we got the battery and circuit to drive the 2 wheels. Yep, that's everything underneath there. We got the two servos per can on here to fire the cans, plus 1 servo under here for the tilt. We've got the mini SSC servo control on the back of the binder there. And then just the switch and the fuse to turn the robot on and off. A lot of stuff fitting on that robot. But all in all, everything stayed clean, acted just like we wanted it for the most part. We were able to control it, hit the wasp nest. So again, success.